Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate, if anything, and leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Aquarius. Let's jump on in and see what you guys have been dealing with. This is recent past for Aquarius. What has Aquarius been dealing with, and what do they need to know about it? That's the question. It's like, is that supposed to come out? I don't think it was. If it was, it will come out. The past. In your recent past, you have the past. Okay. Face your fears, meant to be, and abundance. Okay. Aquarius, I feel like not even just in your recent past, but just kind of in your life in general, I feel like you have been through a lot. And I feel like that has really affected the way that you view yourself and what's possible for your life. And I think that a lot of what you've kind of been going through and what I feel like we'll kind of see in your current energy, I don't want to assume yet, but is I feel like you're having to break out of a lot of barriers that your past has kind of placed on you. Whether that is trauma, whether it's just, in general, just kind of struggling with limiting beliefs, or I'm not quite sure. But I do feel like a lot of your journey, or like the theme of your journey right now, is overcoming your past. Our past really kind of sets us up for our life, and I have come to really believe that we have a fate and we have a destiny. And our fate are kind of the experiences that we will experience over and over again if we don't heal from the things that we've been through. So if we don't heal from the lack of love that we experienced in childhood, we tend to kind of attract partners that reflect that lack of love. If we struggle financially and we haven't really healed from that experience, we might continue to experience issues with our financial life. So what I'm getting at is then, if we do kind of choose the path of conscious healing, conscious growth, of trying to overcome these things, we then start to make different decisions for ourselves that aren't so rooted in how we've been wired. And that's where we start to uncover our destiny. We start to kind of really dip into our full potential and what is really meant for us. I feel like that's why you have this meant to be card. And I feel like the amount of like abundance that's possible for you. Now, abundance isn't just talking about finances or success or material wealth. Abundance is peace, it's love, it's the good experiences that this life has to offer beyond the material. I feel like the amount of abundance that is possible for you is so much more than what you have been shown throughout your life. And I feel like that's where you are kind of being challenged to break out of, like I said, kind of the limited beliefs or reality that, or the limited experiences that your reality has been to this point. Now, a lot of times that can look like maybe you are literally going through a spiritual awakening. Maybe you are really starting to take your healing seriously. Maybe something happened in your life that was really tragic or really difficult that kind of led you down a really different path, or whatever the case might be. And I feel like this period of your life is really important for you. But okay, current energy here for Aquarius. And remember, this is just overall energy. We'll dive deeper into the story in your when we get into tarot. You have protection with meant to be. Again, this is the second time we're seeing this meant to be card. I feel like you right now, whether or not you realize it, there's a path that is very protected, like one that you've almost been shaped for. It's like there's some sort of, I don't know, purpose. I don't like that word purpose, because I think that when we focus too much on like what our purpose is, we kind of lose sight that a lot of times our purpose really is just kind of enjoying, our purpose is being alive and enjoying that. But I do feel like there's something like a path or a I don't know, a purpose, I guess, that's really meant for you, that it's almost like you've been set up for. And there's this path that's really, it's very protected. It's almost like everything in your life has kind of shaped you into the person that you need to be able to pursue something here. I don't know what that is. That sounds really big. It feels really big though. So whatever it is, I feel like this is definitely kind of that confirmation that, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, or where you're meant to be. But I feel like your soul is being called to something that, I don't know, it's like something that's really meant for you, something your soul is really meant to experience here. This feels so specific. I feel like my Aquarius readings always feel like almost personal, because my Aquarius and my Pisces zodiac community on this channel are actually a little bit smaller than the others. I don't know why, they just are, but I guess that's good for you guys because I can get a little bit more specific in these readings. Okay, what does Aquarius need to know moving forward? It didn't turn all the way around. I want the cards to either turn all the way around or hit the table here. Embrace uncertainty. Cut your losses. Face your fears. Changes. It's almost like there were certain things that you needed to experience to prepare you for something. And as you're moving forward, it's about embracing the uncertainty of the path for sure, but also like understanding that wherever this is taking you, and I don't know what this is yet, it's taking you to, like, I just keep getting this feeling that it's like where you're meant to be, but it's different than what you're used to in some way. I don't know what this is, Aquarius. This is big though, and it's requiring you to have to face a lot of your fears, to let go of what hasn't worked. Like I don't know what it is, and I feel like this future energy is all about change, but in a good way. I feel like you've experienced a lot of change in a not so good way, and maybe you've learned, you've healed, you've grown from that, and maybe that's kind of the energy that you're currently in. And then it's almost like the positive change. It's like the not so good change. You know what? That card that kind of peeked out, it was the past. It was another card that says the past, but this is like kind of a darker card that says the past, and that one was like a lighter card. This is the past. It's almost like you'll start to understand why everything has happened the way that it was. So this is like positive changes after negative changes, but the negative changes were preparing you for the positive changes. I guess that's a better way of saying that. I feel like that was a very roundabout way of me getting to that point. So bear with me, because sometimes it might be like, wow, you said that over and over again, or you're repeating messages a lot. I'm figuring this out as we go. Okay, it's kind of like putting together a puzzle that you can't see the picture of. It's like you kind of just, you start to guess. You're like, maybe this is what it means, and then things get clearer and clearer as you move forward. All right, overall theme of this reading for Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know in order to move forward in alignment with their higher self? Power. Oh my gosh. It's almost like the things that you've been through, things that you've gone through, the past that you've experienced, it's like it's turned you into this it's like it's given you the power, turned you into this person that you needed in order to create some sort of positive change, but it's important positive change. It's like I don't know how to put it. I don't know. It's like you think of, if you were to think of life as like a video game, I don't know why this is popping into my mind, but I'm going to say it anyway. Think of life as like a video game. It's like, you know, in the lower levels of a video game, you kind of, you learn skills and you fight, like smaller bosses, and you win against those, but you gain knowledge and skills to then fight like the bigger bosses, and then that's what teaches you to win. It's almost like you, through all of these like levels that you've been through in life, again, I don't know, I'm talking video game, but through all these levels that you've been through, it's like you've gained different skills and different knowledge, and that all kind of combined has given you this power to now create really incredible things in your life. And I think that what you don't realize is that everything that you've been through has kind of been preparing you for this. Like I said, this feels big. I don't know what the heck this is, Aquarius. Okay, let's dive into the story. I'm getting curious. I don't have Aquarius in my chart, but I'm getting curious. All right, past energy here for Aquarius, abundance with the past. Might be getting a little too nosy. What does Aquarius need to know about this past energy? Okay. The moon. The High Priestess. The King of Wands. The Sun, and the Eight of Cups. Oh, this is crazy. Okay, then you have the Five of Wands and the Ten of Wands. Aquarius, you have, excuse my language, but you have been through some shit, okay? And I feel like for a long time, it's like we saw that Ten of Wands somewhere. It might be on the back of the deck. It's like for a long time you've carried this with you. You've carried with you a lot of your experiences in a very negative way, like understandably so, because I feel like this is, it's almost like you've been on this really, really long journey, and it's just been like a battle, and things have just, it feels like things have just constantly been against you, and I feel like it's almost as if what you don't realize is that this has all been happening for you in some way. Now, I want to be really careful when I say that, and I want to explain what I mean by that. Because when I talk about life happening for you, not to you, and trying to look at it through that lens, I'm not saying that you just need to be overwhelmingly grateful for the horrible things that you've been through, and your trauma is great and amazing, and you should be, so thankful. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that when we go through really difficult things, we are presented with a choice. We can either allow those things to determine our experiences, or we can figure out how in some way we can use those things to our advantage, how we can grow, heal, evolve, expand in some way to move forward. And I feel like I don't know, I was speaking to Aquarius that is like really been through some stuff. And I think that a lot of your life has been about overcoming. And I think that you've overcome so much that you don't realize the amount of strength that you've acquired through that. Because I think that you're maybe really good at listening to your gut or listening to your intuition, or you've got like a strong connection with a spiritual connection of your own understanding. Like, I feel like the person that you've become because of the things that you've been through, it's almost like you would not be who you are today if you hadn't have gone through these things, right? And that can be looked at as a negative, because you're like, well, if I didn't have these horrible things happen to me, like I wouldn't, have these negative things about me. But it's almost like looking at the positive things that have happened, or that you, like the ways that you've, like the positive things about this experience, and how you have basically set yourself up for success because of your resilience. And I don't want to glorify your trauma. I don't want to glorify, negative things that you've been through, but I do really feel like this is definitely like life purpose stuff. It's almost like it's saying that through everything that you've been through, you've gained a little bit more of what you needed to step into a higher version of yourself, right? And I think that you've been seeing it through the lens of an illusion. You've been looking at it through this lens of life is always going to be hard for me. I'm just meant to suffer. Nothing ever works out for me. And that's understandable, especially if you've experienced that for so long. But it's almost like what you're needing to kind of shift your perspective on is instead of looking at it from this perspective of like, the universe hates me and doesn't want me to be happy, try to look at it from this perspective of the universe has been setting me up for a lot of good. And I think the more that you can try to switch that perspective, you might find a little bit of meaning in the things that you've been through. Because again, this just kind of feels like what you're needing to understand is that what is ahead of you. And I feel like there's so much good ahead of you. It's like those things that I feel like you're going to experience would not be possible if you hadn't have been through the things that you did. And I think that you're going to see that more and more as you kind of choose the path of growth and healing. I hope this is making sense. And I want it to be so clear that I do not want to take away from what you've been through. I don't want to diminish your experience. I don't want to invalidate your feelings about what you've been through. You should be angry. You should be frustrated if that is what you need to feel. Like, I'm not saying just be happy, just be positive. That's not realistic. But what I am saying is I feel like, and what this reading is really saying is it's almost like you were meant to experience big things in this life. And you were meant to do big things in this life. And sometimes in order to get to experience and do big things, we have to become the person that we need to become in order to do that. And sometimes that means kind of going through hell. And I feel like you've really been through hell, but you've come out on the other side as the person that you need to be to experience a lot of really wonderful things. And that's why it's like negative changes or negative experiences that then kind of lead to these positive experiences. And I feel like that's kind of the contrast, right? This energy is really dark and this energy is really light. If you can kind of see just in general, like the color of these cards. All right. What does Aquarius need to know right now? Sorry, that was I talked about your past a lot because I feel like your past is really important. It plays a really important role in this. And I think that will make sense, like, for you as you progress in some way. Current energy for Aquarius. Yeah, so there's this Nine of Swords. I feel like there's a lot of anxiety because I feel like recently maybe something has happened. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of overwhelm. I feel like you're struggling to maybe know where you're headed, and that can be hard too. But I feel like it's almost as if there are certain paths that are opening up for you, like almost like paths that maybe you aren't aware of or maybe you are aware of and are pursuing but are still really anxious about. But I feel like there are doors. Okay, where was that? Yeah, there's the Two of Swords, the Magician in reverse. There are doors opening for you. And some of you, I feel like, do see those. And some of you don't quite just yet. But there are doors opening for you that wouldn't be available for you if it weren't for your past. And I think that right now, there's a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, a lot of overwhelm in your energy. But it's almost like if you, how do I put this? It's like if you only knew what you're being set up for, I feel like you wouldn't feel that way. But the reason that I was like, I don't know how to put this is because, again, just because we, there might be a bigger meaning to the things that we're going through, that doesn't mean we shouldn't feel the way we do, right? Like, I can have anxiety and both recognize that I believe the universe has my back at the same time. I can both, have fear about something and both believe that it's going to work out in alignment with my highest good, because I believe I'm supported in that. Like, how you feel is so important, okay? And I don't know, I just feel like that needs to be so clear in this reading. But it's almost like you are in this, this really big period of your life where it kind of feels like your life is, it's like the things that you've been through, you can kind of leave those behind, or put them down, like the what you've been carrying, like you can put it down, because where you're headed is so, it's like completely contrast from like where you've been. Like what's in front of you, like again, like even just looking at the energy, it's light, it's abundant. I feel like it's exciting, it's good, it's positive, and I feel like you're leaving behind what's really kind of dark. So it makes sense that I feel like you're feeling very overwhelmed and anxious about this period, because I feel like you're kind of going through a transformative period in your life, maybe experiencing a lot of changes, and I think that there is a lot of uncertainty in association with that. But I think that like you need to know that where you're headed is so protected, and like where you're meant to be. And I think that when you can breathe into that and let go a little bit of the stress and the anxiety that you're feeling, I feel like it might make it a little bit easier for you to lean into that. And the other thing is like you are so supported by a spiritual connection. You have no idea. And that's a lot of where your power comes from too, right? Is that belief that you are very supported by a spiritual connection of your own understanding, whatever that looks like for you. And I think that, again, what you feel is natural, but what's actually happening is so much different than what you think. It's like your life is changing for the good finally, after like a really long period of not so good. And I think that you're going to be surprised at how things unfold. I do. I really, really do. And I think that, I don't know, it's almost like it will make sense. Like it'll make sense why you had to go through what you did. And I think that right now, the reason that you're seeing your future through the lens that you are is because of what you've been through. When you've experienced a lot of things that kind of suck, like you're going to fear those things happening, right? So that's natural and normal, but I feel like it's almost like the universe is saying like, you don't have anything to worry about as you move forward, because you've overcome so much, you've healed, you've grown, you've addressed certain things, and now you are the person that you are. And because you've learned from what you've been through, you don't need to go through those things again, right? You can expect things to change for the better, because I really do feel like they're about to, or going to, or in the process of doing that. Like doors are opening. I don't know. But again, I kind of get this, like, it's like this side eye, like, I don't believe it. I'm not going to believe it until it happens. Like, but then it happens, and I feel like you're going to be like, oh my gosh, universe, I cannot believe I doubted you, or spirit, or God, or higher self. Like, I can't believe I doubted you. Like, this is so worth it. I'm so grateful. And that's what it feels like. But there, you're allowed to doubt. You're allowed to feel disheartened. Like, all those things, all those feelings are valid. Immediate future for Aquarius. What can Aquarius expect? Aquarius expect moving forward. The Nine of Cups. What else? Temperance. That's like kind of divine timing, patience paying off. There you are. Queen of Swords, whether you're male or female, there's the Star, and there's the Two of Pentacles. I feel like you couldn't ask for better energy here. Because I feel like this is almost like, and I already kind of said this, but it all pays off. Because again, temperance, and we saw it in reverse, so there might be some frustration, there might be kind of this struggle with the timing of it all, or just in general the path, and that's valid, okay? Absolutely. But with this Nine of Cups, it's almost like these inner desires, maybe it's like desires that you don't even know that you have being fulfilled. Like that's what I'm getting from this. It's not just like the things that you think you want. It's like wish fulfillment that you didn't even know you had. Like dreams coming true that you didn't even know you had, kind of thing. I'm getting emotional for you here, Aquarius, because it's so beautiful. And I feel like, again, all of it happens because of everything that you've been through. And like with this Star, it's inspiring and bright, and like I don't know, what is the word to describe that energy? Like kind of like fireworks, but not, it's very like Like, just, that's what I'm seeing. Like, just like, like excitement almost when you get those butterflies and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is really happening. It's like the too good to be true ends up not actually being too good to be true. And I think that I have to be careful because one of the problems that I have with tarot is like this promising of a bunch of false positives, right, in your life. And just like, oh, everything you've ever wanted is going to appear on your doorstep tomorrow and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking to a collective that has freaking created this. Like, I'm talking to a collective that has done the work, that has done the healing, that is, showing up for themselves in their life. This isn't just like, oh, I've been sitting back and waiting for the universe to give me all of my desires. This is someone who has been through who's been in the trenches of life and who has clawed their way out. And on the other side of that is all of the good. So understand that. I think it's easy because I think a lot of it's easy to kind of fall into the, a lot of readers say that, or, I've been promised this for a long time and it doesn't happen. Like, you deserve this, Aquarius. You deserve things to work out for you here. And I feel like it's almost like, and I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. Okay. What I am saying is these things you can be excited about because you are headed toward them. And understand that where you're at right now and every step that you're taking is leading you a little bit closer. And as long as you believe in all that you have, believe in, first of all, like, one of the things that I think that we tend to ask ourselves is like, why me? Like, why would good things happen to me? Why would I get to experience, these wonderful things? Or why would I get to experience my dreams coming true? And my question to you, Aquarius, is why not you? Why wouldn't it be you? You are deserving of these things. And I think that if you've kept an open heart and you've kept your good intentions and you've continued to show up in faith, like, why not you? You've, in a sense, like, kind of earned these wonderful things that are going to happen to you, or that you can expect to happen to you. And I think that being willing to kind of like, being willing to believe in that is so powerful after, being struggling for so long. I've never had a reading like this before, I don't think. I don't know. It feels, like I said, it feels almost personal. It felt like that right out of the gate, but even just as we went through this, it feels like this is very directed to a collective that is so deserving. And I don't know. I'm happy for you guys. I'm proud of you guys. I'm excited for you guys. Anyway, we're going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into these messages, looking at what you can do or what you need to do in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. So this is what you need to know. Extended is what you need to do. Any information for that is in the description box below. But thank you so much, Aquarius. Obviously, I hope that this reading helped and resonated for someone out there. And I wish you absolutely nothing but love and healing and abundance and all the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Aquarius.